Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. Thanks a lot for joining us. Sorry for the delays, guys. I had a few emergency phone calls come my way, and it was all hands on deck. It was battle stations. I had to go out there and roll up my sleeves and do some bits and bobs. So thanks. We've just about got 2 minutes to the deadline, everyone. We've got an international game week, which is normally a little bit dead zoney, if we're all being a bit honest with ourselves. But this international game week, we've got a few things. You've probably seen the title of the show. Obviously, we had the leak last night. We'll get stuck into some bits and bobs with that. But this game week, I'm actually quite excited about it in the next 55 seconds. I've got some Euro under-21s rolling out there, and I've got some other internationals flying out. There's not much time for tweaking or altering or anything like that. I think I'm probably just about set with, sadly, the pieces that I've got. And hopefully I'm not needing to make any adjustments post-deadline. But I'm super excited for Euro Under-21 at the very least. Let me know how you guys got on with building your teams ahead of the game week. Did you go in the arena? Did you go select your target? What did you get up to? Feel free to let me know. And yeah, I don't think we've got time to get into predicted lineups and stuff like that with 19 seconds to go. But we're just coming out of a game week, and guys, it was close but no cigar. I went with select your target super rare. I knew we were going to have a DNP goalkeeper, and we were only 56 points away from that magical 100 super rare essence. So, gutted. Pretty much nailed the captain choice. You know, we could have maybe picked Ayer, but whatever. DNP Sani over here killed this team, which was annoying after Juranovic got an assist right early in the game week. And Kessler, by the way, I woke up to notifications saying that he got a last man tackle or a clearance off the line or something. Must have been removed, but Barraza, Lamb to the slaughter. And internationals, I got some really good scores, really nice teams. Take on a 100, but it's only going to get us a couple of boxes. Sadly, we didn't quite climb high enough. And Kang brought in a wee 90, by the way. Oh, that's so gutting. 5-4, Jesus, man. 450 points, top 400 now. That may be something we might need to get used to, by the way. If he's caught the leak that went out last night, we'll get stuck into that shortly. But yeah, that's what I'm coming out of the weekend international game week with. We're flipping in. It says, oh, there we go. I say the counter must have reset on us there, but we're in now to this game week where we've got a few bits and bobs. I'm looking forward to Spain, Slovakia tomorrow night, and then France, Portugal. Could be okay as well. And a wee bit of action tonight. A lot of Wednesday stuff, which will be good crack. And then at the weekend, so for the Friday deadline show, we're going to be previewing Club World Cup action. There'll be a wee video out on the channel tomorrow going through that in a bit more detail. But I've had my first kind of pass on the squads I've got and looking at exactly who could be available, who is available, etc. So looking forward to getting stuck into all that with you guys. Let me know how you are feeling. Did you see the leak last night? What are your thoughts and feelings? And Loen Dracinho doesn't know about the leak. Interesting. Right, well, we'll get into that. Wait, there's an announcement from Sorare coming. We don't know when, but it got leaked last night, I think. So Charlie Dunbar, fist bump, good to see you. David Taylor has got some of the intel, good to see you. Mikey Basson as well, of course, is Loen Dracinho. And let's see what the takes are, let's see what the chat is. And we'll keep our notifications turned on just in case the leak becomes an actual announcemento. Oh, by the way, I've just went to check Sorare Twitter, right? Oh, Thursday deadline. Good catch, Sean Thorpe, FF Thinker. I've just went to check Sorare for notifications, right? And tell me what you think about this. They've changed their name to Soar. Have they been hacked? What does that mean, to soar? Is that maybe part of their angle? Like their angle for telling us about this? But yeah, no actual announcement as of yet. So let's just keep notifications turned on. They do own and control the internet. So the leak that came out, did they mean the leak to come out? Oh, sorry, I've just forgot. We've got two different pages here. So yeah, I'll be on that one. Right, let's have a wee peek. What are we saying? Right, so David Taylor was the first one in. Sorare 2526, get your best classic cards ASAP for hot streaks. That's a good suggestion. So part of the leak did suggest that classics are going to be in hot streaks. They're going to be streaking. So yeah, a wee bit of value add there for sure. David Taylor, I'm with you there. Kubo bagging some cheeky credits. He actually bagged me some credits as well. I didn't realise it was him that done it, but I just unlocked the... Oh, it's flipped over. But I just unlocked the... You just seen it at the beginning of the stream because it was there a minute ago. The $10 market credit. So that was a buzz. Good to see you got that for a few of yous. And Leon Dracinho, the leak is the next announcement. So Sorare are announcing a gameplay update for what they're going to be doing in Challenger, for what they're going to be doing in like Contender and Champion and In-Season and Classic and... Oh no, not that tab, sorry. I tried to move the Sorare tab over a page, but it didn't do that. So let me just tidy up my tabs. There we go. There we go. Tabs are tidied. Yeah, so classic cards is a wee bit of viability coming back into them. And I was thinking, you know, like I've got 408 rares that are all going to be classic, essentially, minus the MLS stuff. And I was thinking this season, I've never had so many options. I've never had so many different combos of cards, but one of the things we have all been worried about is like, what is the classic value add? What's the value retained? And that's something, Sorare, you've got to imagine I've put high on the priority list for everyone that onboarded this year and bought in season cards. So good to hear and see in the leak, at least anyway, that not only will you get one classic spot in season, but you can also streak by doing that as well, which is fun. I've got some expected bonus cards in U21s running Suarez, Mosquera, Samardzic, Albin and Paulo Bernardo. I was very close to putting Paulo Bernardo in myself, Mikey, because intel came to me that he's on sets for Portugal under 21, so that could be good. But they're playing France in the first game, so I kind of just stuck with Spain, but I might put Paulo Bernardo in our fixture. I hit 486 in All-Star and finished 173. Wow. SR Monkey, wonder if Quinny has been told not to talk about the leak. Now, I did reach out to Sorare and say, hey, there's a leak. What's the Scooby-Doo clue? You know, what's the gist here? And they didn't say, yeah, we're all fine, we're all good. You know, we're not talking about anything that's not everyone's seen at this point, really, aren't we? And, you know, like, some of you guys ask me, oh, do you know, Quinny, did you get to see this stuff before it comes out? Nope. I get it maybe like genuinely like 3 minutes before it goes out live or 3 minutes after it's been out live. Like generally, like there's I kind of hear about all this stuff is when you guys do. I maybe hear about, like, I don't know, if they're going to do like the champion best of Europe thing, I maybe hear about that a week before, but anything that's like important. They definitely don't. I don't know about anyone else, but they certainly don't trust me. For some reason, I'm very trustworthy with that sort of intel way far in advance. But yeah, so no one's told me anything, Monkey. I did reach out for like guidance, I guess, but here we are. So you can fill in the gaps yourself. They've always meant leaks to come out. Has happened to offer major, and they always happen at the same evening. Yeah. There's maybe a wee conspiracy theory to be had there, Mikey. Do they like testing the waters? Because as I understand it, from chatting to Sorare, that was a draft, and it was to be tweaked today anyway. So I think a little bit of the question marks that have came out of the leak, like people are saying, I don't know about this, I don't know about that. We'll get into more details about the things we did see and are fairly much tangible in a second. But a lot of those ambiguous elements, maybe they feel the room out and then go, oh, we need to clarify that a bit more, or we need to expand on something else. So I think that will be, it could be part of it, Mikey. I could see it. David Taylor, the main one I've seen concern about is no classic, contender or challenger MLS comps. It wasn't worded well, so hopefully they've seen the feedback and amend to tell us clearly. Now, two things on that. I agree, the wording wasn't clear. I think a lot of people have jumped to conclusions on whether, I'll make the chat box a wee bit bigger today since there's a lot going on, so you guys can see what the chat's saying to it. Feel free to jump into the live chat and let it be known, thoughts and feelings, takeaways and insights. And obviously, if you see the notification bell from Sorare, Twitter or the Discord or anything like that, obviously give me a nudge and I'll go and put it up, because we don't know when the announcement is, remember. But yeah, so number one for me, right, is if classic, so what was it, a classic, contender, challenger in MLS, like, to be and frank, right? If All-Star is genuinely All-Star in the sense of like you can win champ cards from it, then I don't really see the, like, for all intents and purposes what is happening, if that is the case, and I say it was worded poorly so we need further clarity on it, but for all intents and purposes that is just going to make All-Star more like All-Region. It's still All-Star obviously, but in terms of principle it's like an All-Region kind of setup. I don't mind that too much, because rewind this time last year I was rather upset that Celtic were getting put into contender, and it was like, yeah, you might be the big fish in the wee pond all of a sudden, but you've got no potential to bag those big champion cards. And if you look at the way the league went, it didn't look like it's like All-Star and Under 23 and Champion are the classic competitions, and those classic comps look to be reformatted into being SO7, 7-a-side football. It did also say formation TBC, so we don't know if it's double every position, you don't get a choice on extra. Is it just goalkeeper, defender, mid, forward, and then you get 2 or 3 extra spots to do as you wish with, or whatever. The graphic example they had was double defence, double mid, striker and extra. But in any case, it looks like those competitions at the very least will be SO7. Maybe there's an SO5 that's still mirror image of it or whatever, but I didn't enjoy the compartmentalisation of Challenger and Contender last year, to be honest with you. I wasn't a fan of it. As the season went on, I didn't really change my opinion too much. I just kind of leaned into the situation a lot more. But personally, I think if you have a Contender or Challenger strategy, the number one question about this is, will we have divisions in All-Star and Under 23? Because there's no divisions in All-Star at the moment. There is divisions under 23. If there is divisions, I think it's less of a problem in terms of that extra competitive like depth of the field. Like we just seen internationals there. I got 450 points and finished around 400 spot, and I made the joke of maybe that's something we'll need to get used to, because if it is all classic and All-Star, the scores will be outrageous. High XP, big collections everywhere, and really fantasy football. You know, Benfica goalkeepers come back into play with Celtic defenders and strikers from Belgium, or, you know, whatever it is you want to do. And the scores can be, will be, should be absolutely frightening. So if there's divisions, it might take a wee bit of the, might take a little bit of the fear factor away from that. But even if there is no divisions, that is a ton of rewards that is going to go into the All-Star competition. It should pay out like 50 stars or something. I'm exaggerating, but it should look like old school Sorare All-Star competition, in the sense of like star spots are paid out for like top 30, top 40, something like that. I think the biggest we seen was like top 36, if memory serves me right, from over a year ago. But it should get back to that type of level, where if you are breaking into the top 100, maybe the top 150, you are going to get a pretty damn good card. So I'm split on it, and I'm split on the sense of like, I understand why people would be against that move, but personally, having been on the other end of the scale this time last year, I actually really like it. I want to be able to mesh more of my cards together, and the only problem I have with it, if it is that, if the leak has to be interpreted the way that David's got it here, and that there is no classic Challenger Contender, and it is just All-Star, which by the way they did mention in the leak, and let's see how this shakes out, but it might go up to 4 entries, where it's free at the moment. But the one thing I do worry about is lack of availability, lack of available utility, because right now, like, I don't really play Challenger, right, but I do have Challenger players, and if I wanted to play them in Challenger or All-Star, that's kind of my decision, and same with the region. But if all of those teams are now competing for the same 3 or 4 entries I've got in All-Star, then it does put, not pressure on my gallery necessarily, but it does put, it lifts the standard of who's making my teams, and it just means there'll be more people that, there's more cards that I find less use for. There is other elements of the gameplay that came out in the leak that might balance off against that, like Arena and some other bits and bobs that we can talk about. But yeah, I actually quite like the All-Star approach personally. Thank you very much, 420. I miss between stage and server. Yeah, I'm with you there, Mikey. Feels it's a test of water scenario. Yeah, you all seem to be quite on the same page with that. Genuinely thought they may rejig divisions and put all the covered European leagues in one division. Potentially. I think the in-season format from the leak that we read... Sorry, I've left the door open. The kids have just come in. 2 secs. Thanks very much for waiting with me there, guys. Where was I? Sorry on that one. Yeah, so rejigging divisions, I could see that because, to be honest with you, I don't think they totally nailed divisions. I think at Rare, it's about alright, isn't it? At Limited, it could maybe have used one more. I did feel that 3 divisions was a bit narrow at Limited, and obviously you know how I feel about Super Rare. Who cares about that? And there was a Super Rare unique element of the blog that was like click here that I don't think any of the leakers or the screenshot leak people managed to actually open up and be able to see. So we'll find out that when we get the announcement, whenever it comes. Yeah, it was definitely, it was definite now mention, no mention of, it was not mentioned. You're right. I immediately bought a Kimmich Agnon. Good move. Can't wait for SO 7.5. Harry trades. SO 7.5, what does that mean? 7.5. It feels like there's a joke there that I'm missing. They told me it's being released 5 minutes after you end the stream, Charlie. Now, I did say to them, I was streaming today, guys. When should I end? And so let's hope that's not the case. Just sobering up from the Scottish Cup final. Score. Good to hear you've enjoyed it, mate. Good to hear you've enjoyed it. So more chance of DNPs on the SO7. It feels like a bit like, again, I didn't forensically go through the leak because I was half asleep at the time when it came out. The phone's not stopped going today, guys. Apologies. So yeah, did they mention anything about rolling locks, late swaps in line with that classic mode? It feels like when they did say, was it on this page maybe even? They did a post recently where they're like, we know people hate DNPs and we're working on it. I'm sure there was a wee post, a wee community update thing. They've been posting a lot of football content recently, so it's maybe buried, but I'm sure there's a recognition of they want to remove as much DNP in as they can. So I'd be surprised if the SO7 didn't come with late swaps or whatever. Not only will scores be outrageous, but they will be very tightly knit. Yes, indeed they will. They will not lose the casual player. They will not lose the casual player who doesn't put much money into the game through this. So I don't really, Ben. I know there's been some chat I've seen on the timeline. Like people are like, I'm selling, or I'm leaving, or I'm not doing this anymore, or whatever. And it's quite a widespread generalization, but to be quite honest with you, I've been playing the same game the whole time. I don't think really beyond the whole where is the money? Do I want to play super rares or da. I've been playing the same game the whole time, and I think for the large part, a lot of the community we've got here on this channel have been quite focused on why they play the game and what they like about it and the cards they buy and keep as a result. And honestly, to be honest with you, I think almost every person I've seen that has been like, this game's changed, or I'm not doing this anymore, or whatever. I say widespread generalization, but the majority of them are flip-floppers, are people that honestly change their strategy far too often. If you feed cards to bots, you will lose money, and then when you feed so many cards to bots and then you then turn around and go, I've lost all this money on my gallery value. It's like, well, no shit. You threw everything into bots, and then when you got another strategy up and going and you didn't like that anymore, the cards you already took a huge loss to get, you then took an even bigger loss to get the new ones again, etc., compound and snowball that. Widespread generalization. There is maybe the odd exception here or there. Like Hendo, for example, friend of the channel, sold up on the transformation from in-season to Classic, and he was quite a stringent strategy guy, kind of stayed on a path, as it were. So it's a generalisation, doesn't encapsulate everyone. But in terms of does it affect the more casual players, I don't think it really affects anyone if your strategy has been again, for lack of a better term, coherent. You know, it's not been just based on like where is the best cash spot to win this weekend, you know, or it's where is the meta right now, or where is the trend right now, what's in vogue today. And I think anyone that's Jesus, yes, read. So yeah, and I get the, you know, does that kind of become contradictory towards the regional change that we've just discussed? I don't really think so, because I do think anyone that does have challenger and contender cards originated by wanting them to be differentials, to win All-Star, to win champ cards on a budget, etc, etc. So the removal of those regions, I don't think goes against that nature. Now, if you signed up last year, if you started really playing properly last year and built a contender gallery, a challenger gallery, or whatever, you just now have the ability to win more cards. And I think the thing with the bigger region, or the all region, I know it's called All-Star, but I'm just thinking of it now as all region since the leak and with all the chat that we've had, is that like Celtic cards can now again win Benfica cards and Porto cards and cards in Bruges and all the rest of it, more teams that play Champions League, Europa League, Conference League, etc. So there is just more, like, your cards will, or could, you know, obviously it's a tougher leaderboard, tougher setting, etc., but just have the ability to win more stuff now. It really is, well, because one thing that I've really felt from Sorare over the last year, and we've spoke about a bunch on the channel, is this in-season to classic move that they made was very much focused on laser focusing the reward pool. I remember speaking to them last year on camera or off camera, and we've spoke about it with me and you anyway, even if it wasn't with them on the content, but they felt before that their prize pool was like one layer and spread across, whereas they wanted it to be all in the one place and go up the way. So you've really felt that you were winning stuff, and going from Challenger and Challenger Europe and Champion Asia and Champion America, it was like podiums here, tier ones everywhere, star tiers everywhere, specials as well, and they wanted to just make the prize pool denser and higher quality. And I think this would be a further move in that step. So I don't really feel that this is a hard turn that would really affect anyone that's not got a high churn of cards anyway. Again, some sweeping generalisations, so feel free to come at me. I don't mind, I'll defend them, and we can talk about any of the exceptions you might want to bring up. I always think the sweet spot for divs would be 4-3-2-1 from limited to unique. Charlie, that's a good shout. Smooth boy, fist bump, good to see you. I don't think the update is great for people focusing on champion. So I don't think it takes anything away from champion. But what I think it does do is it clearly drives the rest of the platform to want to care about champion. And although champion cards are the most expensive, the most sought after, the most recognisable household names attached to the biggest prize pools already in the game, I'd having more, because again, like friend of the channel, Sorare Contender only plays Contender, and there's other people that do just silo themselves off, and those are people that you won't sell your champ cards to. And you know, the less buyer, it's supply and demand. You know, less demand, more supply, price goes down. More demand, same supply, price should start to, you know, move. So I'm not too sure what's negative about it towards Champ Euro. So Smooth Boy, feel free to elaborate if I'm getting the wrong end of the stick here. So now I have to play my champ cards against Contender. Sorry, I should have, sorry, you have kind of elaborated there. So we're going on to say, limited to playing 3 or 4 lineups now, instead of potentially 12 if you were doing Classic, La Liga, Bundesliga and Prem, and now you're going to have them going into All-Star. So yeah, that is a bit of a nerf, I suppose. You're going from 12 on Classic, isn't it? So Champ, Prem, Bunde, La Liga, 4, 3, 12, yeah, okay. You're going from 12 to 4. That's what I was kind of saying earlier. That's the main negative that I feel. But I think Arena is where they want that overspill to happen. And from the leak thing as well, I think there's going to be like league specific arenas and that sort of stuff as well. So I'm not like in champ and whatever, so I'm not too sure that's the default setting. It will be something that will come up throughout the season, Smooth Boy, but I'm not sure it's not sure that's a. You don't really get your Barcode level guys in champ, obviously, unless it's somebody like Rodri or Kimmich, who you're probably not going to have in this situation. Line up 5, you know, you've built your 3 or 4 classic champs, and then it's the team thereafter, so it's like the 5th or 4th lineup. You're unlikely to have that level of quality, especially SO7, but we are going up to SO7, so there is more cards required per team. So you're saying 12 5s are 60. It's now gone up to 4 7s, which would be 28. So it's just half. It's essentially half in the amount of cards. Goalkeeper obviously is a bit of a particular thing there as well. Just checking the updates and whatever. For me, the main change I want to see is the ability to split out essence and craft cards. Yeah, they did. So the card thing was interesting, wasn't it? Because it was saying that essence is now a fixed price, and you'll have like different options. The graphic wasn't too good or too clear, but yeah. Red Devil 91 missed the leak. Headline news is SO7 and a total revamp on Classic. Nicholas also said rolling locks would only be outside the core comps. They did say that. James Stevenson, great memory. They are the people who you ask what they want to eat and they say anything, then moan about when you order something. Yeah, I think that's kind of what I was chatting about earlier with the people that bought food all their cards all the time and then wonder why they don't gain any cap app on their gallery. Not that cap app has been easy to get on your gallery, don't get me wrong. I disagree. I've really struggled with rule changes. Went MLS Super Rare for 240, rule change, no threshold. Went La Liga MX for 3 essence, rule change, 1 essence. I accept your disagreement, Connor, but I think like that is kind of like changing your strategy, isn't it? Now you've actually like this is like your side strategy, isn't it? Because you're very focused on like Fulham and you've got like some other bits and bobs. It's been a while since I've looked at your gallery, Connor, but I know this stuff isn't always core. It's kind of maybe like your active thing that you're trying to like, oh, there's an opportunity here to tap into, or this is a meta to exploit. But we've just said there it went from MLS to MX, which is totally different regions now. And you're probably a wee bit of an exception as well, Connor, because you're probably not bot-footed the whole thing. You've probably hustled it quite well. Went contender in season for market credit. Rule change, no market credits in season. Went for under 23 All-Star Prem for essence for a tier 1 for next season. It looks like a real change, and I won't get my So that was the only thing about the essence thing we were just touching on there. That I thought, oh, that's a bit rubbish because I've been keeping my essence, and I don't want to turn it now. I don't want to turn it. So I need to see the announcement before I really know what I want to do with my essence for next year. Maybe I'll have a ton of it and I can churn out a lot of cards. But yeah, fair enough. And Connor, fair enough. But again, even in that, there's a lot of changes. You know what I mean? There is a lot of changes to strat. Red Devil, the update get leaked last night. Maybe it'll be made official. Went and grabbed a cheeky catch you later, Quinny, thanks very much. If anything, it devalues goals. Keep Harry your spot on. I think I kind of was starting to talk about that before I read the chat again, talked about something else. It makes under 23 more prone to DN pain. If there's no late swaps, yeah, with 7-a-side it definitely does, doesn't it? Harry's on fire in the comments. Does it make under 23 more popular? Can it be any more popular? It's not like it's gaining in season. I guess under 23 goalkeepers are maybe a bit more important all of a sudden because like Harry's saying there is less need for any goalkeeper because you just can't use them. But if you do have overspill cards and collections, prospects that you're interested in, whatever, that are under 23 eligible, even if you're not an under 23 player, having under 23 goalkeepers available now will be an important strategy kind of lever to have at your disposal. So I guess that does make it slightly more popular because more people will see it as like base camp for utility rather than a a thing now, but it's like I play under 23 or I don't. It'll be more a case of I've got my under 23 players together in a team now. Yeah, Quinny, but again, Arena is All-Star. There's no, but I think they're going to do self-styled arenas. And for me, the only you're saying there's no motivation to buy Champion. I think for Classic, like, the only motivation I ever have for Classic cards is, like, does it enhance a collection I've got already? Is there a superstar that's now came into price range or whatever? But make no mistake about it, when you see the in-season prize pools, like, all the money's going to be in Champ. So in-season Champ will be very valuable, and by consequence, having quality classics is going to be advantageous as well. So I'm not sure there's no motivation there. It's just maybe a different level. Yeah, it's been kind of screenshotted and posted about everywhere. Do you guys think the SO5 move will bump prices? I'm not too sure. I think it will. I think the immediate aftermath will definitely benefit the tier 1 and above level guys, because they can, they have all the viability, don't they, of being good in season, good in classic. Oh, what? Look at that Selly edition Cherokee. Oh. That is a good looking card, by the way. That is a good looking card. So I think it would push the prices up with those guys, because SO7, you've got more spaces to use them, even if you're a power gallery anyway. The multi-entry we've had, maybe you've had 2 Kimmiches, but maybe now you think, crap, I actually want 3, etc. So I think it'll push some card prices up. I don't think it does anything for tier 4, 5, 3 kind of guys. It feels like they want Arena plus the burning mechanic from MLB to remove. Yeah, so they're going to allow us to vault cards to gain some sort of bonus. Yeah, David Taylor's comment here, I'm kind of echoing that. Oh, it's actually a wee bit further behind. The chat's got away from me. Oh, the chat's moved all over the place. I've totally lost my place here. Did you get sent the PDF? No, nobody sent me oh, there's a PDF in the Telegram group from whoever got the screenshots. No, I've not been sent a PDF from Sorare, if that's what you're getting at, the joke. Nicholas also said in March that SO7 wasn't on their summer plans. Yeah, that's right, Josh. That's right. Went and grabbed a cheeky Yamal. I think I caught that. When SO7 doesn't benefit goalkeepers, but unlimited arenas. Yes, Andreas, your finger on the pulse there, big time. Did not they say last year when they introduced the new Sorare that there will not be any big changes to core game in the next 2 to 3 years, only tweaks? If the leak is right, isn't this a big change? I think you're right there. But I think from the leak I've seen anyway, and again I didn't go over it forensically because I was a wee bit late at night and whatever, but there's no mention of a change to in-season at all. So it's just it's just basically all region. It's kind of what's happening, Contender and Challenger, and you can play anything in it, but it's just getting switched on with All-Star. Split the essence is the main thing for me. Yeah, I'm with you on that. Smooth Boy, Harry, trades. Classic keepers have gained value for in-season. Yes. And for hot streaks, of course. Arena's SO5. Oh, has that been confirmed? Lovely. Even if they change the factory, getting 5 to 10 picks of a card from face down. Yeah, it could be fun. Under 23 in season is a great idea, but I don't think that's on the menu, is it? Champ goalkeeper lost spots in Arena. People will use Contender and Challenger. Yeah, I think there'll be a lot of people that, like, if you look at the way I've kind of tried to, let's just say, manipulate, for lack of a better word, the goalkeeper situation. Are these my cards? Oh, they are. I just didn't recognise them. Oh, guys, I'm so overdue a giveaway for the members. But I started buying limited goalkeepers to give myself an extra layer of utility. And I think when it comes to Arena, that same kind of principle, we'll see that coming through, where the Bundesliga 2, the the K-League goalkeeper that you can buy for a tenner or whatever it might be, will be your Arena keepers. You know, you're not actually going to use them in a competitive format, but maybe they're a low cap score. They'll be very affordable compared to your Donnarumas or whatever. So yeah, I can definitely see that. Abracadabra. They said big changes. Oh yeah, Andreas has kind of tweaked us on the changes thing. If there are arenas for champ only, that's much better. Has there been anything said that there will be regional arenas? I think I'm pretty sure arenas is like, it has been dressed up to be bespoke. You know, they might do, like for the Champions League final, they might do PSG Inter or whatever. You know, I'm pretty sure that's something they've kind of played with already. But who's your first player on the vaulting block? Oh, that's easy. The first player I'm vaulting, go all the way back to page 10, is my first owner, Shunsuke Nakamura. And for any of you that don't know, get to know Nakamura. Our Japanese boy. Oh, I've hung that up badly, haven't I? I'll fix it later. So yeah, I think Shinsuke Nakamura will be first in, alongside Joe Hart, Aaron Moy, Tom Rogic, Nir Beaton, James McCarthy. These get Hebert. Is he retired? Oh, fuck well. Or maybe he's in China Division 2 now or something. But yeah, it'll be. I've got some retirees I'll vault with ease. I don't know if there's anyone like that's useless. Maybe Ko Sawada. Yeah, I'll maybe vault him. And yeah, some kind of meh guys. But I'll have some cool guys to go in. Number 1, Aaron Moy and David Marshall. Who could forget him? So I'll probably vault some of those characters. There will be all types of arenas. Yeah, so regional cash, special rules. Yeah, I think there'll be cash in arena as well, and that's classic available also. The constant changes to the game don't exactly fill people with confidence. I think, yeah, there's. I get that, Rob, but again, I don't think there's anything that seismic the way people make out sometimes. Like, oh, the game's totally changed, because again, I know everyone's here for a different length of time, right? But this is going to be a long stream. This is going to be a long stream, I'll tell you that. So vaulting, Benhay, is like you take your card and you say, I'm not going to play this for ages. You get maybe like a 1 a day limit to unvault, but you're basically putting it on ice, and then that goes into a value, and depending on how many cards you've got vaulted, you get an extra kicker on anything you win. That's how it works in baseball. It doesn't actually affect your SO5 score, but if you're to win £100, you'll now win 102. That kind of thing. So yeah, Rob SAFC, it doesn't fill people with I get that, but again, so when I started, it was just All-Star, and there was like the podium cash, and that was it. There was no threshold, there was no in-season or classic, there was hardly any money in the game. And it was global fantasy football, own football cards, follow them through their career. And like, as long as, so one thing I always think to myself with the changes is like the core thing that I found and thought was amazing, and that I think helped propel Sorare to where they are right now, is, are they moving away from that? And yeah, changes and tweaks are always, like, honestly, I've had to roll with the punches so many times with strategy changes and stuff like that over the years. It does get frustrating. But again, when I've been doing it, it's more just adjusting course rather than changing direction, you know. And I think that's generally what when I see people are, well, okay, well, I know that guy's fed his cards to bots for the last 2 years, or they've tried to do different things that haven't worked out or whatever. They've tried to be reactive rather than sticking to your thing. Awesome. Okay, cool. From a content point of view, the face down cards, yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun doing that. I think it'll be better to use an in-season goalkeeper and stud classic card. I agree. Naka, what a fucking legend. Lovely childhood memory. The screamer against the cream buns from 30 yards. You can say that against Smooth Boy. It was actually in May, he said it wasn't on the plan. Oh, that's only like last month, isn't it? The OCD people in the chat now exploding. Sorry. I think I will lock Cancelo until Reborn. Any news about new leagues? I don't think so. I actually thought, by the way, from that blog, from that podcast, Dan and Nicola Dunn, I thought there was huge Saudi foreshadowing on that, and I don't know. I thought it would have been announced in something like the leak that we got. Oh, in the leak they did also mention there might be matrix tweaks where they'll ditch the goalkeeper free goal conceded negative decisive. What do you feel about that? If your goalkeepers didn't get the negative decisive on free goals conceded, you just let them roll with the goal concession minus points. I thought that was okay. I don't think it was anything amazing. But yeah. All quiet on the Western Front from Too Sore. Again, any ideas what they're trying to do with this? What are they trying to tell us? Oh, that was another thing that we got in the leak as well. Monthly comps and all their special... all the stuff they've been giving Pranksy, basically, is going to be on the monthly leaderboard now for people to try and win and go after. And I also thought that actually complemented the all-region kind of thing quite well, because if it is going to be like a monthly leaderboard and it's for Sorare's best like assets or whatever they're going to give away, if I'm in contender, you're in challenger, somebody else only plays champ, how do you actually get a monthly leaderboard across the platform? It'd be very difficult. So the all-star thing, you can still just do it for all-star in the old format, but again, not a lot of people play all-star. Maybe that's would you cry it, a strategy decision point or whatever. But I quite like the thought of that, because I was like, oh, that's good, you know, a monthly thing where it's VIP stuff, it's the money can't buy stuff is all in there, and rather than just the random stuff they do to give it away, it's a bit more like every month, this is what's going to be on offer, and you can go for it. And hopefully because of that setup, like we've seen with, was it the Saudi Super Cup they did or something, but they'll include flights, they'll include the hotel, that kind of thing. I think the goalkeeper change is very nice. Yeah, I think people don't want to pay much for goalkeepers, do they? So if goalkeepers get cheaper, we're normally happy. Makes a goalkeeper who gets hammered by makes lots of saves more valuable. Yep. Think they already get a big enough loss from conceding free. Yeah, that would be good. Is it a translate thing? I don't think so. I don't think that page is translated. Translate Italian. Oh, yeah, it is. It is. That's so weird. It's got a translate filter on here for Italian for some reason. Maybe because of this Dispo MateNet thing. What happens when we do translate on that? It just changes their name. That's so weird. That's weird. So Sorare in Italian is to soar. I love that. But yeah, I think the goalkeeper thing's okay. It just kills less lineups, doesn't it? But if everyone then doesn't get the -3 conceded on the goalkeeper, it's kind of like the possession lost change that we had a few seasons ago, where if everyone benefits from it, does it really change anything? Like the goalkeeper that concedes 4 is still going to probably score less points than the guy gets a clean sheet, for example. So you guys were all laughing at the translate. I don't know why that happened. Really makes no sense to me at all, but there you have it. And yeah, awesome. Right, guys, we might be back. Because I've got a feeling we'll be back. Right, so hang on to your wigs. We've kind of went over. I didn't really want to go over the leak stuff because just had a feeling. Normally this stuff comes out. Just a feeling. Normally this stuff comes out not too long after a leak, so I thought, well, we'll hang about the deadline, because normally, like Charlie said, we come on, we do a deadline show, and then by kind of now, 3:30, 3:45, it's normally when something drops, but there's not anything yet, so that makes me think it'll be 4 or 4:30, if it's to come today. And nobody's saying that we know it comes today. Nobody's saying that. Scarcity of Pacific missions is nice. Yeah, that was good as well. That was good as well. I think like the missions thing as well, you can tell like there is a lot of potential over here for like, also I just picked up some market credits, but what they're doing in here with the common mode is good crack as well. And I don't know, I was a wee bit disappointed to see that it's just streaks for Europe, similar to MLS, but you can now do classics. I thought there'd have been something else a bit more dynamic, you know, a bit more, a wee bit more ingenuity required for it, you know. 2 new Essence gimmicks in form of unlimited arena entries and the chance to gamble Essence away. Reveal cards 1 going to be Scar, and I bet they're going to sell Essence at one point. Yeah, I wouldn't put it past them. I didn't really get the full. I didn't analyse it all forensically in terms of like arena is unlimited entries and stuff like that. But I think arenas will be. I think the arenas will be closer to what we've had with special weekly treatment. In terms of just every week or every couple of weeks, there's a bit of a theme to it. Oh, it's European time, or it's World Cup time, or it's Money Week, or we're doing Essence because the new cards are out and all that kind of caper. I've seen the prices go up because of the classic card in season still being around. Nice. Mikey Baston's nailed it there. Yeah, it will be. So I'm in two minds, guys. I'm quite happy. We've just did this as a bit of fun, bit of banter. There's a bunchies here watching us live and loud. I'm tempted to come back, like on release, if it comes today. I think I'm going to do that. I just wonder why that says 1 minute. Is it like the last of the cards? Are they going to stop selling them? Summer edition cards, 1 minute in 2 days. Oh, that's weird how they've got that formatted. It's the wrong way around. Yeah, there's plenty of them still on auction. No idea, Rob. No idea. Only unlimited if you have oh, okay, so it's Essence to pay in still, isn't it? I don't think it's unimaginable that they sell Essence, by the way. Maybe there's a wee bit more consideration to be had with the whole like avoidance of gambling stuff, perhaps, but the amount of games that sell shards and crystals and Robux and whatever, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know if that excludes Sorare from doing that, the gambling stuff, because it is like card fractions essentially. It's not quite like buying a pack that you don't know what's in it. It's kind of like buying a piece of a pack that you don't know what's in it, but you don't need to even use it as a pack. You could use it as an in-game token. Those cards are too expensive. Yeah, on it, the instant buy ones are pretty punchy, aren't they? Yeah, especially the top row. I like the special edition element of them. I don't like the premium on them because it's such a small tournament for some of them. But if you had an existing collection already, or like me, you just thought, oh, I can get a Griezmann, right, let's do that, then cool. But yeah, like how many people are going to spend 560 on the Jude, 530 on the Mbappe, etc.? I don't really see it. Yeah, Andreas, you're probably right. Yeah, I think we're all on the same. Abacadabra, James Stevenson, I think we're all on the same page. I was just kind of voicing what you guys were saying there. So I don't know if it's a de facto or sell Essence and then we're screwed for the gambling stuff or whatever. I'm still waiting for PSG to drop. Oh, on the fancy ones. Are they going to come? Are they going to come? Well, that's what I was going to check. I was going to, just in the chat of all this, I was going to have a wee look at a Trubin. A wee classic Trubin. Not quite cheap enough. Especially the OG one. I do quite like this Benfica one with the black kit, but better than the yellow kit, at least anyway. I've been stuck on 1 minute since they released. Oi. So yeah, I don't think I'll be buying anything specifically for it. My strategy, like I say, is pretty consistent the way through the piece. For the most part, yeah, I don't think it really makes me pivot or change any position at all. I think I'm more just keep on with keeping on. Now that Saudi doesn't happen, that might make filling this Man City collection out a bit easier, because the Man City collection with De Bruyne in it, must be this season, sorry, is the treble winning Man City season, and for a Man City collection that's the one I want to own. But so many of these guys, like Cancelo, stupidly priced for being in Saudi, Laporte, who else? Some of these guys are pretty good, obviously still quite old. Mahrez, that's who. Yeah, so I just felt like some of these guys are a wee bit overpriced because of Saudi. So hopefully that goes away and they become a bit cheaper. But yeah, I don't think I'll be doing anything specific for it. I'm quite happy with my goalkeeper count. I'm always happy to get more goalkeepers, obviously. But I don't think I'll be doing anything specifically around it. Their prices should come down. Yeah, their prices will come down. But one thing I was wondering is, like, I was happy to maybe wait for one on the secondary market if you did fancy it for your collection pieces or whatever, to get your collection score up. But I'm not sure if, like when did the instant buys go away? Because once they go. There will be a finite amount of them. And these ones, you can tell they've held some of these for ages, because like the European ones are serial number 92. I got a 67 Griezmann. There's a 68 sitting there. 86 quid, by the way. Not bad for an Antoine, especially if you've got market credits. But yeah, a lot of the European ones were really high serials. 87 for Rodrigo, Arda Güler 98, Valverde 94. Wow, Spider-Man's only at 56. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what they do with these. I don't imagine they would not want to sell them. They've also been keeping them on the shelf. Get Scott Carson in. He's just retired today, hasn't he? Or he's left City, at least anyway. So maybe I will. Not today, but we'll be able to vault Scott Carson quite easily. That'll be alright. But also, did you mention MLS is pivoting to a classic for streaks as well? Yeah, someone told. I didn't see that in the leak, but someone told me that from like the back end of this month, like not the weekend we're about to come into, not the one after, but the last weekend that we have in June, I think is what it was dated for. Where yeah, MLS hot streaks will now take a classic card, according to the leak. Laporte coming back to Europe in the summer. That could be cool. But yeah, tons of stuff to get into. And I say I don't want to go and look at the leak, because Charlie's saying that they have said it will come out today. So that means we know it's going to come out today, and it means I'm probably going to. It's July 26th, was it? So not June, I beg your pardon. So it's like 6 weeks away for that pivot to happen. Plenty of time for Ryan Gold to get fit again, for me. But yeah, so I think I'll probably hang fire now, guys. We've had a great little stream, nice little chat. As soon as something's announced, we'll flip the script, we'll be back on. If you haven't done so already, please do hit the like button, subscribe for more content like this as well, and we'll be back shortly. See you soon, everyone. Take care. Bye-bye.